Hello, everyone. It's Audrey here, and I want to come back to you today to really define and to share with you my signature program called the HR Game Changer. So, today I'm coming to really present some of the things that I found that was really significant, game changer, and value added to my life. Well, to begin with, when I relocated to my current area in the Northern Virginia area, I found that it was hard for me to really attract employers of choice. And so, what I decided to do was, I went through the full cycle like many of us have done and maybe currently doing, is I began to just start putting my resume out there. I began to apply because traditionally that's what I was told to do. Okay. So I did the same thing, and I wasn't differentiating myself. And I found myself months and months in going through the cycle of job hunting, getting no results. So at some point I had to make a decision. Do I continue to do what I've been doing because that's what traditional HR has taught me to do? Apply online, get a LinkedIn profile that wasn't differentiating me. So what I decided to do after an encounter I had, and I'll go ahead and start sharing that encounter with you. So at any given time throughout this time that we're sharing together, please drop me a comment below. Give me a heart. Let me know that you're watching. I'm going to also add my Acuity link to those that would like to go ahead and set up, which I would encourage all of you to let's partner together in your job search. But what happened to me, guys, was one day I had identified it was a really good company that I wanted to work for. And what I did was I applied online. I landed in a phone screen. The recruiter was really cordial. And I even landed an on site interview. Well, once I got through the on site interview, everyone was very impressed. But unfortunately, the senior leader was not available. She was not on site that day. So what they did was they set up a follow-up interview with me, and she and I and another colleague of hers, we did a phone interview, phone interview. And during that discussion, she was really impressed with my responses. She was very impressed with, my professional demeanor. But unfortunately, I did not land that job because my resume was not sound. My resume did not attract the brand that I wanted it to attract. The things that I shared with her, one, she didn't see on my resume, and two, she actually found a few typos. And I was so humiliated. I was so embarrassed because I had actually had someone else do my resume. I didn't do what I should have done. I didn't proof check it. I didn't do my due diligence. And so as a result of that, I was humiliated. I didn't get the job, but guess what? Guess what it made me do? It made me look at what I was putting out there. And I said, you know what? You can sit here and you can beat yourself up all day, or you can take action. You can take action and you can start your brand. So I got together with some colleagues, and as a result of really fine tuning my resume and really developing my LinkedIn page, I was able to really separate myself moving forward in the job search. And as a result of that, I have perfect strangers started reaching out to me through LinkedIn. They were, one, impressed with my accomplishments, and two, they wanted to know how did I land an opportunity in HR to be successful as to where I am now. And as a result of that, I decided to create the HR Game Changer program. Now, as I continue to talk with you today, I'm going to share a little bit more insight and break down some of the things that's in my program and why you're going to get the results that you need to land your next HR career, your dream job, okay? So those were some of the frustrating things, and those are the reasons why I created the brand. I want to help my clients, and I also want to be able to share with them how you can differentiate yourself in a job search. As of last week, guys, did you know, as of last week, over 3 million people applied for unemployment? Yes, and even more have applied. So now is the time to act. You have to have a game plan of how you're going to differentiate yourself in the current market. With everything that's going on, now is not the time to sit back and relax and just apply here and there and hope and or not even apply. Some people I've heard have decided that they're not going to apply because everything is going on with the coronavirus and they don't feel that they're going to get the visibility and people aren't hiring, everything's on a freeze. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. People are landing job offers even as of last week. And they're going to continue to do so because that now is the time to act. And I'm here to partner with you to get you there, okay? So some of the pain points that I found in my job search and what others have shared with me is that they did not have a social brand. And a social brand, for those of you that don't know, social brand can be as simple as your LinkedIn profile, what you put on Facebook, yes, what you put on Instagram. And yes, employers do check that. So you want to make sure that whatever you post, those things are positive because people will and they do look at your social brand. Okay? And part of my services that I offer my clients is social branding. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So I've talked a little bit about how I've overcome my own struggles because again, we all have been there. We've all been to where we've struggled at some point. And you know what? When you don't know, you don't know. But when you do know, you do better. Is what I've always been taught. You know better, you do better. And so as a result of that, my personal brand was established. I began to start building my resume, really capturing all of the projects that I've worked on, all of the things that I've been able to accomplish, whether it was in my role, strategically, when I, joined the organization, it was recruiting. Well, in order for me to learn employee relations, I had to take on projects to really understand employment laws and really differentiate myself from my peers. And what I didn't do, guys, in the past was I wasn't capturing all of that. It was just, okay, I did that, done that, and moved on. But my resume really wasn't exemplifying my skills. So that's another area that I struggled with and that I had to really make sure that those things were listed within my resume. And so things that I did to really capture to get results in my job search. After really working on my brand, I actually hired a professional resume writer because, again, it's hard to talk about yourself. I don't know about some of you, but it was really hard for me. And so I, started partnering with her. I did some mock interview sessions with some of my peers to really hear the responses that I was providing. And so as a result of that, I didn't really realize at the time that I was really, really starting to differentiate my brand. I also started working and reaching out to hiring managers. And so those are the things that in my signature service, those are the things that I'm going to teach, going to teach and will teach my clients is that in order for you to land the job of your dreams, you're going to have to think differently. You're going to have to separate yourself. And at the end of the day, you're going to have to really apply those projects and those things that you've done that you probably pushed to the side thinking that, oh, well, I helped my manager out on one or two things, but I really didn't. It really is not valuable. If you are an HR admin, and let's say you want to promote yourself and be as an HR generalist, you're going to really have to be a game changer because this market is going to be really, guys, it's going to be tough. I'm going to tell you right now, with over 3 million people that's apply for unemployment, you're going to have to really be a differentiator in the market. You're going to want your resume to stand out, and you're going to want people to want to pick up the phone immediately to call you because they're going to see the value added. And in my program, I'm going to walk you through and want to make sure that your resume exemplifies that. Okay? And so, again, we talked about my resume and my struggles. If you guys have struggles right now, let's say maybe you're gainfully employed. Let's say maybe you're, getting a few responses from your resume, but it's not really attracting the job of your dreams. I want you to put a little comment in there and let me hear what some of the things that you're getting, and maybe I can give you some, responses right now or some things that you can do differently. But more importantly, what I want to do is is I want you to go ahead and set up a time so you and I can dive deeper, about 30 minutes, so I can really understand what's going on and then see whether there's a partnership. So just think about that. Just go ahead and just, drop me a comment and let me know. So let's see if I have any comments now. Okay, great. Yes, Michael, I would certainly like to provide that. So in my signature services, some of the things I found is that there are mindset changes. When I speak with some of my clients, some of my past clients, and even colleagues that I've worked with, what I found is that they came in, they were really frustrated, they're really struggling with their job search, right? They weren't getting the results, and if they were, they weren't hearing back from employers, so they were being ghosted. So it was a mindset change. So I walk my clients through tips of how to change your mindset, because as a man think, so is he or she. So if you're going into the job search with a broken mentality that I've done this and I've done that and I'm not able to move forward, then that's going to hold you behind. And we don't want that. So, you can attain the job of your dreams. I'm just here to walk you through the techniques of how to get that done. So we go through in my program a mindset change. I started looking at your resume, and I actually have more of an interrogative setting where I'm diving into each one of the employers that you've worked with, and I'm really honing in on the value that you've added. And I want to make sure that that's captured on your resume, because there may be things you've done that you've pulled away that you have not even, listed. Maybe you have, added or implemented a new software or program that has been successful in the process, but because it's part of your job, you just didn't list it. And you'll be amazed at the things people have not put on their resume that really add value, that will separate them from their competitor. So that's another thing that I do. I also walk my clients through mock interviews, because as a recruiter and as an HR manager, I know too how people come in. They may have a stellar resume. I may have done a really good phone screen, and then you come in on the interview and you bomb it. I mean, it's just complete bomb. You're a nervous wreck, and you have nothing. I can't understand your value in person. And really, the in-person interview, you're really closing the sale, guys. Yes, it's really a sale pitch. You really want them to see why we need to stop this right now and make an offer to me. And no, we don't just do it like right there in the middle of the interview. However, we do want to follow up. You don't want them to even debate or think about another candidate when you walk out that door. And so I prepare my clients for that, okay? The other thing I do is I also, Michael, to your question, I also help my clients with their social brand. I look at their LinkedIn profile. I look at their, Facebook profile. If they have Twitter, I want to make sure one is in sync, but I really concentrate on LinkedIn, because as a recruiter, if I see your resume, the first thing I want to do is go to LinkedIn, and I want to see your brand. Not that I have to see everything on your resume that's on your social media, on your LinkedIn profile, but I want to make sure that there is some comparison, that there is some cohesiveness, if that makes any sense to you. And then I want to go in and make sure that your brand, your social media, your interview pitch, your resume, all of those things speak for you. Then we're going to dive deeper. There's a thing called hidden market. And my job is to make sure that my clients are really hitting those jobs that are not posted, because posted jobs, most times they're presenting the business needs, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of things that are not posted. And those are the jobs, those opportunities you really want. You really want to really attract those type of hidden market jobs, because one, they're not posted to everyone, and they're not even going to give you any competition. So you've already set yourself apart with the hidden market. And two, you're going to pretty much land the job that you want, because the job is not posted, and the hiring manager you've already captured your audience with the hiring manager, and they want to partner with you, and they want to add you to their team, because your resume, your informational sessions, those are other things that I'll talk to you about on one-on-one, of templates that I'll provide of how to land and capture the attention of a hiring manager or a VP or even a CEO of an organization, according to the level of position that you're targeting in your HR search. So those are just some of the things that I do in my program. I also base it on situations. If I find that I have a staff or someone that's coming in HR and a staff and they're more green in the process, I may have to dive deeper and do a few other things. So it's not a one size fits all, but it is a program that I know get results. So what I really want to do now is really go into some of the other excuses that I've heard people say. I like what I'm hearing, Audrey, but I really don't have time. I'm just going to keep doing it my way because I've hired a coach in the past and it really didn't work out, and I really don't have time to go through that again. And I just want to share with you, now is not the time to waste time. If you've been just applying online and talking to a few people here and there, you're really not landing the next opportunity. This is continual work, and if you're willing to do the work, then I'm willing to partner with you. So you don't have time to waste. You don't have time to not have a personal brand out there, because again, the competition is going to be really, really, really swift. And so you're going to want to set your mark now more so than later. So again, you want a resume and you want your brand to really capture your qualifications. And a lot of my clients, I find their resume and their brand does not capture that. So that's one of the reasons why you want to act today. Okay. The other thing is, I've heard that, well, Audrey, I'm in a different situation. I'm not like everybody else. Some of your other clients, they may have had experience, right? They got experience and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not in that category. I don't have the experience. Well, again, if you all been following me for quite some time, I want you to go back to my my original story where I shared how I became an HR game changer. I actually transitioned from social services into HR, and I landed a great job with no experience. All I had was my thesis that I was working on in graduate school. I had no prior HR experience. And even during that time, I didn't really realize the impact that I was making by just going out there and presenting myself and networking. And so in my program, other program is networking skills and how to really attract the audience. What you want to do is you want to build ambassadors for your case. Right? And so once you start networking and build your brand, in which I will introduce and teach you, you're going to start having opportunities. And that's what networking does. And so, that's what I'm finding that some of the excuses are, is that my situation is different. I don't think this is going to work for me because I'm finishing up my graduate studies. I don't really have the years of experience that you have, Audrey, and that's why I'm not going to be able to join your program. Well, I want to say no, that's not always the best way of transitioning, into HR. One, you want to understand that it's different strokes for different folks, right? You may not have the experience per se on paper, but once we dive deep and I begin to speak with you, you probably do have more experience than you think you do. If you've taken on any projects, if you've done any administrative functionalities, those are easy ways of getting into HR. If you've been a supervisor, that's another easy way to get into HR. And so those are things that I really want to target and speak with my clients and just really dive deep and find out a little bit more. Okay. So that's another excuse. My situation is different. I really don't think this is going to work for me because, I've been applying and applying and applying. I've been applying and applying online, and I haven't gotten a result. And I put all the bells and whistles, the adjectives on my resume, and it's really not helping me. So, again, everybody's situation is different. I agree with that. But let me partner with you and let me figure out with you if this program is successful. Setting up a consult doesn't mean that you're putting money down. So I wanted to make sure that that I put that out there, because for me, I only want to partner with those that I know will get the results. And if I find that in the consult is not going to work for you, I'm going to give you some tips that may help you, but I'm also going to be one that actually can maybe help you find another coach. I'm not here to just take people's money, guys. I'm here to help you become a better you. That's why I named my company Be You. Be You, only better. Okay? So Again, that's another excuse. My situation is different. Another thing that I've heard is I don't have an HR degree, but I really want to be an HR professional. Well, again, in my program, I'm going to take you step by step of I've worked with people all the time, guys, that don't have an HR background, but they were able to land an HR role. So keep that in mind. Again, if you have a strong administration background, supervisory skills, those are things that I can help pull to get you your next HR dream job or get you into the HR dream field. I also have people that, like I said, are in a specialized field in HR that may be interested in being promoted, but they're not getting the promotions that they need. I have techniques in my program to help you land that promotion, honey. So I look forward to you getting on a consult with me immediately. So any questions thus far? I've been sharing a lot of information here, but I also want to make sure that I'm mindful of any questions, any comments, any thoughts, any concerns. Michael, if I answered your question, give me a thumbs up or a heart or something, or if you want me to explain a little bit more, let me know that as well. I'm here to support you. So again, guys, the time to act is really now and immediately. Like I said, with how things are going right now with the coronavirus and unemployment rates are going really high and people are in the market more now than ever. Now is really the key time to really build your brand and partner. And I'm here to do that with you. I want to hear some of the struggles. So if any of you are online right now, even if you're listening to the replay of this video, please just jump in, comment, and let me know some of your experiences. And if there's something that I can share to help you along the way, I'm here to do it. Because what I found, guys, in this time right now, it's better to just stand together. It's good to partner together. It's good to just inhale, exhale. We're going to get through this. It's a tough time, but we're going to get through it. And, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to share, some of your struggles. And, it's okay to just, look at things, look at how you've been doing things. And if it doesn't make sense, if you've applied, if you take a moment, if you do have a LinkedIn profile and you're tracking your jobs, every time you apply on LinkedIn, there's a percentage, there's a number, and it shows you how many jobs you've applied since you've had your profile. Okay? If you look at that number, tell me out of, let's say you've applied and you've gotten, let's say maybe you applied for over 60 positions and nothing's worked, where maybe you've gotten a recruiter email you, or maybe you've gotten, some response or like or whatever, I'm not sure. They may have set up an interview with you and then you didn't pass it, you got ghosted, whatever the case is. Look at that number, look at all of the Indeed, look at, Career Builder. Look at those and let me know, if you can comment real quick and let me know how many responses you've gotten. And again, if you even in the replay, you can comment below. Because what I want you to really see is if you're doing your effort, your due diligence, and yes, applying online is important. As an HR professional, I do want to make sure that you're applying online because we do have EOE, Equal Opportunity Employer. That's what we're doing, okay? But at the same time, I want to make sure that you're not just applying online, because if you apply online and hope that someone calls you, there's so many barriers in the process. There's the applicant tracking system, and I'm going to help you in my program in the resume formatting, help you with the template that's designed to help you bypass the ATS system. Because it is really important. If the ATS system, the applicant tracking system, is pushing your resume out and you're not even getting the exposure, then that's a problem. That could be one of the reasons why you're not getting results. So again, look at the numbers. Look at the job boards that you are currently actively in. Look at the different resumes you've created, the cover letters you've created. Really do a soul search on what you've done. And if you find that you're really not getting results, then it's time to step out of the box. It's time to act. And it's time to just go ahead and give me a call. Okay? So I think that's all that I have. Michael, thanks for your comment and your question. If I don't have any other questions, I'm going to see who else is on. You're welcome to, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. Feel free to share this video. I appreciate your support in advance, and I just want to help everyone, anyone that I can, that's interested in the HR field, that's interested in being promoted in your HR, you know, in your HR role. If you're currently employed and you want to get a promotion, but because you're in a specialized area, just admin, or you feel like you're just an admin, but you can't really be in generalist, let me partner with you, because there's certainly a way to do it. Okay. And there's ways and techniques I can teach you while you're gainfully employed, how to attract, if you're ready to move and leave your current employer. There's ways that we can do it other than just applying online and hoping and praying. Okay. So again, thank you for your time. Stay blessed, stay safe. I'm here to support you. And thanks, Michael. Again, if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks, guys, for your time. Continue to, like I said, be safe, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.